Okay, now we're going to get into more of the details of how to set up Astrometrica. You can go to the Internet menu option and click on Download MPC Orb. That will download the orbital elements for the minor planets. We will get the most recent version from the Internet, and it takes a little while to download this, so I'm just going to click Cancel, and it will begin to update and reload the orbital elements. So that's one of the first steps you want to do. Next thing you'll want to do is go over to Settings and click on Environment and browse to where your images are going to be at from your telescopes. I'm looking at the minor planet called Julia, which is a fairly bright minor planet. So now when I click Load, it goes directly to that directory. I have 3 example images in there that I want to look at. It pulls up the date and timestamps, as I showed you in the other video. And the bright object that you're seeing is actually the minor planet. These are the background stars around here. Now one of the things you want to do is look at the header of the image, and you'll notice that for the CCD camera that I was using, I have a 32 micron pixel size. That's good information to know so that I can enter that into Astrometrica in my settings over here under CCD. Now the default settings for this was, I believe, 1800, and I believe horizontal flip was checked and this wasn't. But this, I found that if, for my particular images here for Julia, that if I use 5800, that's getting me closer to the actual focal length that I'll be using. And I also had to rotate, well, not only flip horizontal, but flip vertical to get the orientation correct. You also see that I entered the 32 microns over here, and I don't think I changed anything else besides 32, 32, 5800, and I believe I want to make sure both of those are checked. Okay, now let me just show you what would happen if I left it as 1800, and I go into Astrometry and do data reduction. The minor planet I'm looking at is 89, also known as Julia, right there. And so there's the coordinates that it calculated based on orbital elements and date and time found in the header files. The blue images, the blue circles here mean that it found a star. It doesn't know the names of those stars or their coordinates. It just found bright spots on the image, basically. Also, this showed up outside of the video window, and it's ready for manual star matching. If I click OK at this point, it shows me the stars that it has downloaded that was in that region, maybe about 15 arc minutes square like that. And you see that that's really too compact. So that if I go back over here, oh, by the way, that one was also off screen as well. I could change the focal length right here to 5800 rather than 1800. And you see that I got a pattern right here in the middle that's like that. And that turns out to be the pattern that I'm seeing here, there, and there. I mean, the minor planet should not be one of these red circles, of course. This is just the reference stars for astrometry. Now the reason that these 3 are not on top of this is because it assumes that that is my minor planet and I have it in the center of the field. So I would have to kind of shift it over like that, and I'll probably need to do some rotating. So that's kind of how I figured out approximately what I needed for the focal length. Now I'm going to go back over here into my settings. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that. Going back over into my settings here, and now I'm going to enter 5800 because it's closer to the focal length that I need to get the alignment process started. I'm going to go through this again. It remembered my coordinates for the center of the frame. I could type in exactly the center of the frame, and it would probably do a little bit better. But now I'm just going to go through this by aligning it like so. So it's a little tedious when you first get started, because not only do you have to do this alignment well, mostly manually, but you'll also have to do some rotation as well to get these stars to line up. And in addition to that, we'll have to adjust the plate scale. Because if you look at these 3 stars right there, it really should be those right there. So I'm going to have to kind of figure out exactly what that needs to be. I can hit a 9 like that. And see, that's not quite it. Maybe a 65. you see that I am getting closer to the alignment. So I'm going to pause the video here, work on it a little bit more, and see if I can get closer to the alignment of these three on top of that, as well as these back over that way. Okay, here you see I'm using 7500. Got a little closer on that. And 8500 maybe seems a little bit too far. Okay, here I am at 8000, and I am getting a lot closer. Now the reason why you would need a position angle change is because it's very difficult to get the CCD camera mounted on the telescope so that it's perfectly aligned with right ascension and declination, say horizontally across the chip. I'm going to try to enter 8000 inside of my settings and see if I can get some automatic matching going on now. I'm going to try this automatic reference star using 60 stars to see what it comes up with. Okay, that wasn't successful either, so I'll continue to kind of tweak with manual adjustments until I can get a little closer. Okay, here I am at 7900. Looks pretty well centered. I also rotated it about 2 degrees. Okay, at this point if I click OK and I get a number of green circles, that means that I have a good alignment. So I'll probably want to go into settings and make that a little more permanent. So that right there, position angle, I believe I had 358 as the value. Okay, at this point I could use the magnifying tool, but I don't really need much magnification for that guy. Pretty bright and good distribution, good centering, and hopefully it will tell me that I'm looking at Julia, and I can accept that observation. Go to my next image. Oops, I guess I gotta watch where I'm clicking. Click right there. It's pretty well centered. And I think I had another image. I'm not really sure how to go get the other one except for to move these out of the way. And I guess that's the last one right here. So you want as many of these green circles as you can get, because that's going to improve your accuracy on the coordinates that you print out here for the minor planet center.
Has expired.
So there's the day and time of observation, and the designation, or the number designation of the minor planet, right ascension, declination, magnitude, filter, and observatory. Okay, now that I have the focal length set, I'm going to go see if I can close all images like that, and then reset the files, and then try to do the process again just to see how much it remembered. I guess we'll see. And here, I guess it did remember the coordinates of my object. It is asking me to center up. I could try automatic. I'm not sure if that's going to get us anywhere. Nope, it just gave me an error. So going back to manual observations here. And it looks like it did align it where it was previously at. Now I want to try to actually exit Astrometrica and see if it remembered all of that, because the center of the frame is actually where these stars were over there, so somehow it remembered the offset as well, and the offset will not be the same for every minor planet. So I want to pause the video, exit Astrometrica, and see what happens. Alright, so here I am loading up images like that. Trying the data reduction again. It did forget the coordinates, which I was hoping it would do. Let's look at minor planet 89, which is Julia. And let's see how much it remembered. You saw there for a moment it was downloading the coordinates of these stars from the background, not only did it do that, but it actually identified all the stars. So it looks like there's a lot of automation happening here once you get the initial settings made over here on the CCD tab. Alright, that's all for this video. Hope this helps get you started.